Welcome to the Week 14 edition of Burning Bar Hill. I'm the commissioner. I've got a lot to get to, so I'm going to get right into the recaps of last week and then So, Days to Confuse defeats Bad Dog 251 to 165. Justin Jefferson up 59 points from Mark's squad. Solid win, but not enough. You will not make the playoffs. Sorry. Irish Cop, big win over the sinister guy from the internet, 58 to 102. Justin Herbert, 42 points for John Hansen. We'll see where he goes. Thomas in line for the first pick of the draft next year. The Syndicate Chase Cards. I don't know how. Defeats El Resistencia with a tie score of 134. Wins the tiebreaker 28 to nothing. Russell Wilson, 28 points. Nick Folk kicks 2 field goals in the blustery win of the Monday night game where Matt Jones and the other New England receiver, because they only threw 3 passes, did nothing. Guerin throws up 3 bagels. I get a tie and the tie-breaking win. I thought that thing was over. I seriously thought that thing was over, and I thought all hell was going to have to break loose, but I get a win, and we go on. John Boy Special People beats Steel Curtain 236 to 130. Cooper Kupp, 43 points. Mr. Hauser clinches the Homeboys Division Championship. Fat Bastard defeats Davis Dynasty and a walkover, 76 to nothing. Somehow, some way, Chris is still alive with a week to go after ripping off. I think he's won 5 straight. Thanks, Davis Dynasty, for nothing, because you would have easily beaten him with any lineup submission. So that's 1 strike against you too, JJ, because you know better than not to submit a lineup, and I don't care what's going on in your world. Submit a lineup. Empire defeats Darwin's Finest to resoundingly win the Outlanders division, 192-142. Javonte Williams, 42 points for Jim's squad. Roger wins the Pick'em this week. 1 more week to go for payout for Pick'ems, but Roger takes it this week. I'm still leading, but my lead is slowly shrinking. It's down to 25. It was up almost around 100 at its heyday. So what does that mean? I'm just going to go through the matchups, and then I'm going to break everything down. So matchups going into the final week of regular season. We got the Syndicate Chase Guard 7-6 up against Irish Cop 7-6. I lead the series 11-8, but John won last year. 7-6 Bad Dog up against the 8-5 John Boy Special People. Larry leads the series 14-13. How is that possible? But John's won the last 2. Steel Curtain 7-6 up against a 5-8 Davis Dynasty. Roger leads the series 9-4 and has won 3 straight in that. El Resistencia 5-8 up against the 6-7 Fat Bastards. Chris leads the series 10-5 with 1 win in the series. Sinister Guy from the Internet 4-9 up against the 10-3 Imperi Empire, who's clinched everything. Thomas leads the series 11-6. Thomas has got 1 win in that series. And lastly, Daisy Confused, also in line for the number 1 pick in the draft, up against 4-9 up against 8-5 Darwin's Finest. Jared leads the series 8-5. Jared's won 4 straight in this division. In fact, Mark has not won in this series since 2010. All right, what the hell does all this mean? Here we go. Jim is the 1 seed. He's 10-3, clinched everything. He's clinched everything. He can shut it down for 2 weeks if he wants to, whatever he's got to do. John Boy is currently the 2 seed by way of head-to-head over Jer at 8 with the 8-5 group. John has clinched the Homeboys division. That does not automatically give you the bye. You've got to be the best 2 teams in the league. So just make sure you knew that. So Mr. Hauser's got a win to clinch the 2 seed and the other bye. So he's just got to simply beat Bad Dog. Should be no thing, right? So there's that. Jer needs a win and then a Hauser loss to get the 2 seed. Both if Hauser can also get the 2 seed backing into it if both Hauser and Jer lose. The 4 through 6 seeds, here's the mess that I can kind of figure out. 4 of us are sitting at 7-6. Chris is at 6 and 7. So we got 5 of us for 3 spots. Of the 4, 7, and 6 people, here's the clearest path to whatever you need to do. I am currently the 4 seed at 7 and 6 because I've got a points lead over John Hansen because I haven't played him yet because I'm going to play him this coming week. So me and Mr. Hansen are playing this week. The winner clearly is in. The loser needs a bunch of help. So there's that. The current 5 seed is Steel Curtain. Steel Curtain is in a win-in situation. He is playing Davis Dynasty. Like I said, he's probably got to win, but you never know. Irish Cop is currently the 6th seed in the last one in by way of head-to-head over Larry. Larry is sitting at is down there at the 7th seed currently. He's got a huge game against Mr. Hauser. He's got to win. So with myself, Roger, and John Hansen, win and you're in. Simple. Obviously, me and John, one of us two is going to lose to drop back. Chris, so my dad's got to win and wait, and of course he waits for one of the losers of me and John Hansen. So if my dad wins, he's in. So yeah, so it's the winner of me and John. Roger and my dad all win. There's the 4, 5, and 6. I'll figure out which order you're in later. But that's the fastest way to get me to 6 people. Chris, at 6 and 7, you have really you have to win, obviously. And you need a combination of 2 of 3 people to lose. You need either myself, Larry, and Roger. You need 2 of those 3 to lose. All 3 of those lose is great. Myself, Larry, Roger. You lost to John Hansen, so he's not there in that 7 and 6 of all those people you're waiting to lose up there. So you need 2 of 3 to lose to get into a 3-way tie and have the head-to-head over everybody to get yourself into the mix there. So that's how you get in. Any other backdoor things, I'm not going to figure out until next week. As for the number 1 pick in the draft, it's simple as this. If Thomas loses, he gets it. If Thomas wins and Mark loses, Mark gets it. If both win and both El Resistencia and Davis Dynasty start losing, then it gets fun. Then there's things. So a bunch of people can still get the number 1 pick. I can't believe we have 4 people still alive for the number 1 pick in the draft with 1 week to go. And yeah, and the only real thing we got set up is, the only thing solidified is Jim at 1. That's it. We know Hauser and Jer will be in the playoffs. We just don't know if they'll be 2 or 3, but a loss by either one of them can drop them further down with the 7 and 6 group sitting down there all getting wins. And at least me or John Hansen is going to have 8 wins. So there's that. So so Jer and John, you guys are in, but you could fall all the way to 6. So don't be playing games. So that's all I've got for this week. The last piece of news. There is a voting matter on the board for right now. Today is the 7th. I've got this poll open until December 15th, but it's not like mandated before you put in a lineup. Last time I checked, 6 people still hadn't done it yet, which is half the league. Come on now. Larry, Garen, can't remember. I don't know where my list went. So, yeah, way over there. That is Mr. Hauser, Garen, Thomas, JJ, Larry, and Mark. There is a matter to be voted on. I could put a little stipulation in there. I might do it after next week for playoff time. But it's a continuation of our addition to the flex position for next year. It's how are we going to play it with draft and roster spots. So there's 4 options. So we're either want to add a draft round or add a roster spot. So instead of 15 going to 16, and then there's the combination of those 4 things. Do we add a draft and a roster? Do we add just the draft? Do we add just a roster? Do we do neither and just go, oh, yeah, you got to deal with it with your 15 and we don't add anything in the draft? So vote on that, please. The results will be, I think it's December 15th at night. All right, long video. Sorry, I'm getting out of here. Deuces. See you next week.